nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to 420.
Spooky.
Ho, ho, ho.
The world is.
This could be it, Harry. Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon!
Not out there on the microphone. On the microphone.
Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
The world is flat. I'm here to ring the alarm with my puppet like charm, straight from the barn. I'm talking about Flat Earth Farms, cause most don't know. They think we live on a globe, a ball that floats. So listen and take notes, and take it to a higher plane. Imagine yourself in all it contains, in all its glory and flair. Flat Earth Farms can take you there. Open your mind outside the box. No more staring at NASA's Photoshop. No more moon landings, no line to ya. No more people standing backwards in Australia. Just facts and pure truth, planning straight to the roots. Flat Earth Farms help you understand. A magical place on a wondrous land.
The world is flat, and that's a fact. Tell your friends next time you chat. Let them know a ball ain't that. Let's stay playing with the baseball bat. Cause we coming at the barn, a higher place, the Flat Earth Farm.
The world of science cares about you. Eureka! We found it. With the tools of science, We have invented. Yes, hand sanitizer. But not just any hand sanitizer. This hand sanitizer was developed and approved by the Dark One himself. Here are a few of the things our product can bring you.
Bow wow run, he's my mighty puppy. Sir Bow wow run, he's my mighty puppy. Sir Bow wow run, he's my mighty puppy. Sir Bow wow. Mud. You slept.
Warning, the self-destruct system has been activated. Option to override self-destruct expires in 10 minutes.
I represent through mind, soul, and body. Mind, soul, and body. I represent through mind, soul, and body. Mind, soul, and body. I represent through mind, soul, and body. Mind, soul, and body. I represent through mind, soul, and body. Mind, soul, and body. I represent through mind, soul, and body.
The light shines artificial like blue blockers. Coming up with theories you can't ponder. The essays and thesis, I got a lot of. Like da 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 da, like Joe Cocker. Call me in the knife and I'll be a stopper. Traverse the NY in my Eon copter. Fucking with the Starbucks, don't even bother. You be flirting with death like playing Frogger. Now a beat ain't a beat without a kick like soccer. I keep a bag of chronic inside my locker. When the BK, welcome back Carter. If I robbed in the 50s, Brooklyn Dodger. Make any 12-inch just a little hotter. Turn Christopher Reeve to a head bopper. When I have no cheese, I'll be the restocker. Then transform the illest rhyme dropper. Now who's to say who's not a real hip hopper? 2 years ago, I was a real floor mopper. I ain't from the Bronx like Benny Blanca. If she don't call you back, don't even jock her.
In any form, I'm doing work, I eat great. I represent through mind, soul, and body. In any form, I'm doing work, I eat great. I represent through mind, soul, and body. In any form, I'm doing work, I eat great. I represent through mind, soul, and body. In any form, I'm doing work, I eat great. Now even cheapskates is peeping my tape release.
You be mistaken, like Russian 8 men that Aikman. I hate them fucking industry vagrants, claiming that they be pounding the pavement. When just last night I seen them raving. Mr. E, give you lyrics you craving. NYLES is where I'm staying. In this world, my microphone is my haven. Now keep your ears clear when I be playing. Top 10 coaches goal is how I'm rating. I take ball hits till I be fainting. I wish I saw loot, you think I'm raking. Shorty in the back commence to ass shaking. When in Portland, I'll be trailblazing. What is this fake rap crown you be chasing? I see that rat trap that kids be baiting. Coming on your tits depends where I'm aiming. Star buckle keep you wet like days it's raining. Where all these hip hop kids was saving? Remember whipping me must be the tabs you weigh when it didn't happen like blacks voting for Reagan. Inhalation, check how much remaining. Hip hop Hall of Fame, Eon, you're engraving.
In any form, I'm doing work over me. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. Now even cheapskates is peeping my tape readers dead. In any form, I represent. In any form, I represent. In any form, I represent. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I represent. In any form, I represent. In any form, I represent. I represent through my soul and body. 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 In any form, I represent. In any form, I represent. In any form, through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. I represent through my soul and body. In any form, I'm doing work over me. Now even cheapskates is peeping my tape readers dead. In any form, I represent. In any form, I represent. I represent through my soul and body. My soul and body. My soul and body. My soul and body. In any form, I represent. In any form, I represent. In any form, I represent. I represent through my soul and body. My soul and body. My soul and body. My soul and body.
YouTube Music is a music app made by YouTube, and it's your
What's up, Chevy? Can you hear me? Oh, sorry, I had to put my mic back on. Yeah, trying to get this fire situated here. Was that a new song? That one that you played by RA? I think you're muted, Ray.
RA?
Yeah, that one you were playing. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's one of his. It's off his new album, yeah, but it's not like.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was a bit like risque, but it was kind of funny though. At the same time, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
A lot of his songs are like that.
Yeah,
but that's why he's RA the Rugged Man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
he's rugged. You know, he was homeless for a long time, and like back in the day,
he's
when,
from
like,
New York, ain't he?
Yeah, but it was funny because back in the day, like, hip hop was all about like wearing big chains and having nice cars and, like, you know, making money, you know. And he was sitting there while everybody else was like rapping about money. He was sitting there rapping about being broke and bummy and like living in the street and being like dirty. You know what I mean? So it was good. But yeah, so just getting ready for the show. How you guys doing? Are we here yet? Did we make it? I mean, we've been killing it so much lately, you know. So the other day I was in line at McDonald's and I was talking to this guy and he was like, aliens. And I'm like, what are you talking? Dude, aliens are demons.
Yes.
He's like, what are you talking about? You know, he's like, hey, yeah. Thought I was nuts. I was like, yeah, they're demons, dude. I'm not saying that like you can't, like, you didn't see anything or people didn't see them or whatever, but if you've seen it, it's something satanic, right? Like,
yeah.
So
yeah, they're demons. Yeah, they just pretending to be something else.
And I know firsthand because
it's part of the deception.
I'm not saying I've seen aliens. I'm saying I've seen shadows and things turn into people, not people, but things, but not aliens. But I knew that it was definitely from the other side, not from another planet. But I've seen this. I've seen this video pop up here, which looks pretty good about aliens being demons. So let's see if they'll let us play it, and let's see how it goes. And I don't even know. You know, I didn't vet it, so let's check it out.
Not human, get it? Something non-human, but intelligent. A non-terrestrial intelligence.
Do you believe in aliens? Extraterrestrial beings? For those of us who read the Bible, it's clear. Extraterrestrial beings not only exist, but they've been here since the very beginning, since before the earth was made. Quote, "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me, if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched out the line upon it? To what were its foundations fastened? Or who laid its cornerstone when all the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy?" End quote. What this verse is saying is that when the earth was created, there was a race of beings called morning stars, or sons of God, who sang together and shouted for joy after God created it. Quote, "We may deduce two logical conclusions from these verses. First, that they are not referring to literal stars, but the sentient sons of God. And second, that these sons of God are older than the earth itself, since they were present to witness the primordial foundation." The motif of the morning stars in biblical parlance is meant to convey pre-existence and preeminence. In John's Revelation, Jesus declares, quote, "I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star." While writing to the brethren in Colossae, Paul affirms the preeminence of Christ, quote, "He is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he may have the preeminence." As the firstborn, not
got
only
it in there,
but over all creation. Jesus is the original morning star and the preeminent Son of God. The morning stars and sons of God are children of dawn.
Is it good, Morgan?
The second born in the family of God.
Well, Morgan
They
approves.
represent an elder race of beings that are both pre-existent and preeminent in relationship to all others, save the Son of God himself, the first and foremost over all creation. End quote. An elder race of beings, otherwise known as angels. They were there to witness God creating the earth, and by their very definition, they're extraterrestrials. Now, we know that angels can look like people. There are instances all throughout the Bible that prove this point, the most famous one being in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2. Quote, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware." So angels can look like humans, act like humans, sound like humans, and pretend to be humans, but deep down, they are far from human. Let's not forget that Lucifer himself is an angel.
What? Lucifer is an angel, a fallen angel.
This mistake is costing Amazon Prime shoppers big. Are you still using Prime?
Amazon Prime is a fallen
Because at this
angel
point,
too.
it's-
All right, let's do this.
December 8th, 2020. The Jerusalem Post releases an article entitled, quote, "Former Israeli space security chief says aliens exist. Humanity is
Jerusalem
not
Post, watch
ready."
out.
Let's read it together and see what we can find. Every time this article says the word
Whenever they
alien,
say
I'm
something
going to
first,
replace it
usually
with
have a
fallen
tear neck.
angel, because that's exactly what they are. Quote, "This galactic federation has supposedly been in contact with Israel and the US for years, but are keeping themselves a secret to prevent hysteria until humanity is ready." This article is by Aaron Reich, December 8th, 2020. Has the state of Israel made contact with fallen angels? According to retired Israeli general and current professor Hayam Eshid, the answer is yes, but this has been kept a secret because, quote, "humanity isn't ready." Speaking in an interview, Eshid, who served as head of Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years and is a 3-time recipient of the Israeli Security Award, explained that Israel and the US have both been dealing with fallen angels for years, with Eshid clarifying the existence of a, quote, "galactic federation." The
Send it to
Galactic
me, let me
Federation.
see it.
In New Age theology, there is a group of so-called, quote, "good aliens" who call themselves the Galactic Federation of Light, or the Ashtar Command. They've been making contact with psychics and channelers for decades now, and their message is always the same. It's in direct opposition to the gospel
I
of
got it.
Jesus Christ.
I'll
You
play
see,
it next.
it's the same exact lie Lucifer told
for
Eve
reminding
in the
me.
Garden of Eden. It's their calling card, and they always resort back to this promise of, "Ye shall be as gods."
The angels, the sons of God, resemble who we call in ufology the Nordics or the Pleiadians, who are these beings who very much look like us. The misconception is that the fallen angels have a different appearance than the good angels. The bad guys look different than the good guys. The good guys are these beautiful angelic beings, and the fallen angels are these grotesque, demonic-looking entities with horns, and they're the typical Hollywood depictions of demons. But that's ludicrous. That is completely illogical. These entities, these beings, hail from the same race. Every time that human beings encounter angelic beings within the biblical narrative, the description of the angels is always the same. They look like men. Indeed, Paul says that it's possible to entertain angels unawares, which means that you can confuse them for human beings. They're not human beings. They are, in fact, an extraterrestrial, non-human race. Existent extraterrestrial, non-human race. But they are also sons of God, just like Adam was a son of God. And so it makes sense, therefore, that all the sons in the family bear the same semblance. They look the same, and they resemble their father. And it is my contention that both mankind and the elder race, the human race and the elder race, bear the image of God. There is no scripture in the Bible anywhere that states that mankind is the exclusive bearer of God's image. Rather, it just says that we were made in the image and likeness of the Elohim. And so we look like them because they are our elder siblings. We are We are reproductively compatible with them. So we are very similar, even physiologically, although they are of a higher nature. And so then the question is, what do they look like? And I think the answer is apparent within the canonized text of Scripture. They look like us, but with some differences. And we know that there has to be some differences because Lot was able to recognize them when they were approaching the city of Sodom. Lot saw two angels approaching and instantly was able to recognize that these were sons of God, emissaries from the kingdom of heaven. Now, how could he have recognized these angels? Because they looked human enough to where they could pass through town and be taken as exotic human beings, but they had distinctive trademarks, hallmarks that were calling cards that they were not human beings and that they were indeed angels.
My name is Jonah Krochmalik, and this is what an automated microgreens farm looks like. Microgreens.
This was something that we heard about, and then we investigated during research for the book Exo Vaticana, which ultimately led us to the top of Mount Graham in Arizona. We were curious why. When the Vatican's Advanced Technology Telescope and the Large Binocular Telescope were being built, why did the indigenous peoples of Arizona, especially the San Carlos Apaches, why did they join environmentalists in filing dozens of lawsuits before a federal appeals court to try to stop the construction of the observations on Mount Graham? The project ultimately prevailed in favor of the Vatican and NASA after an act by the United States Congress ordered it to be done. But the question remained in our mind, why had the tribal communities fought so diligently against the construction of telescopes atop that mountain? Now, I had wrongly assumed that this was because Mount Graham was a sacred place, as in preceding generations of Native Americans had lived and died on it, and therefore it was considered holy ground, something like a graveyard. But I learned later that while that was partially true, it really wasn't the big issue. The real dispute surrounded how Mount Graham is considered one of the four holiest mountains in the world for the Apache and is considered sacred to all of the region's native peoples. And it is so because it is what we might call a stargate. In their mythos, a portal through which the star people have come since the dawn of time. And once we understood that fact, our suspicions as to why the Vatican and NASA had chosen that mountain in particular, even being willing to face a prolonged legal battle to build these telescopes on Mount Graham, including the largest binocular telescope in the world where the Lucifer device is kept. Why would they have gone to all of that trouble? Why not just go to another mountain range and find basically the same height, the same environmental conditions? Why did it have to be that mountain? Now we came to learn another thing, and that is that the San Carlos Apache have these preserved ancient tales concerning Mount Graham and that geography, including stories very similar to biblical chronology. These legends involve a creator, a deceiving dragon that follows, an epic flood, and even a race of giants known as the Jindupids, who were judged and destroyed by God. According to the legend, a race of Indians called the Tartans lived in the valley between Tucson and Phoenix. These were just peaceful farmers, and they prospered until one day they were invaded by the Jindupids, described as Goliaths, who were so huge they used tree limbs for toothpicks. Well, these Nephilim were led by this massive man they call Evilkin, who allegedly came from the Northeast and were headed south to their home beyond the Gulf of Baja. These giants giants nearly wiped out the Tartans before they ran and hid themselves underground and in the mountains and prayed to Father Sun, who then threw this huge fireball that came down to the earth, seared the monstrous Nephilim into the scorched mountain rock, and wiped them out. Now, elements of that tale are obviously mythological, but it has a remarkable thematic coherence with Genesis
Hey,
chapter
Bill.
What's up, Bill? So
the
let's talk
Apache
something
creation
new.
myth is also interesting in this regard.
Were they giants, Bill?
As a particular version
Hiding in the
involves
mountains?
what they call the one who lives above, who descended down over the mountain in a flying disc at the start of creation. Their myth begins, in the beginning, nothing existed. No earth, no sky, no sun, no moon, only darkness was everywhere. And then the legend starts before noting that suddenly from the darkness emerged
Big Bang Theory.
a disc.
No.
One side of it was yellow, the other side of it was white. It appeared suspended in midair. And within the disc sat a bearded man, the creator, the one who lives above.
Santa
Now,
Claus.
besides this creator who rides in a heavenly disc, there's a dragon with the power of speech that turns up, bargaining with mankind, as well as supernatural gateways associated with mountains through which spirit beings have and can come. So
I'm a dragon with the power of speech too.
suffice it to say that these ancient native ideas involving flying discs, flying
Why would you want to claim that, Ray?
even owls and a talking dragon or a great serpent.
I'm not sure. I don't think that's something I would want to claim.
Ranges. This is something that began long before the Vatican cast its eyes on Mount Graham. Think how much these legends mirror what the Bible teaches, including the idea that mountaintops or high towers.
Now, what I see here is their alien agenda. This is what they're trying to do with this. Now, the fake alien invasion agenda thing. I don't know if it's real or not. They might try to pull it off one day. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen while we're alive.
Were
But
often
there is these demonic entities that you see from the other side. They are around. So that part is true. So it's more like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like there might be some truth in this, and some of it might be complete bullshit.
depicted as places where doorways into the supernatural could be opened. For instance, Nimrod of biblical fame sets out to build a tower whose top will reach into heaven, Genesis 11:4 says. This was the infamous Tower of Babel. And Nimrod was designing it so that the top of it would extend into Shamayim, heaven, the dwelling place of God.
You know
the
what, though?
Jewish Encyclopedia confirmed several
There's been a lot of people talking about this lately, and there's been a lot of people like asking me about it. So
historical records that Nimrod, who it establishes was also identified by various ancient cultures as Osiris, Orion, Apollo, Gilgamesh, that he had built the Tower of Babel specifically to ascend into the presence of God, into the presence of Jehovah himself. And of course, God came down and said of the tower's design that nothing would be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do, Genesis 11:6. So in other words,
so they built some technologically advanced tower that was so high tech that God was like, nope.
according
and
to
it was reaching up into the heavens too.
accomplished what he imagined to do.
See, that
and that
part
is
I
to
believe.
build a tower whose top would reach into the abode of God. Even the name Babylon implies that, echoing the North and South American Indian beliefs about towering gateways and the meaning gate of God or gateway to God.
Oh yeah, so
Now,
okay.
that there could be sacred locations.
So let's take into consideration what he's talking about sounds crazy, stargates, all this bullshit, right? But
Yeah.
in the Bible, they did build a thing all the way up there to get through whatever. So
Well, it's like they say, truth in the movies and lies in the news.
Yeah.
And they did have that Stargate movie. Well, actually, they had several Stargate movies because they had the series and everything, and they came out with movies.
They had
with the series.
Stargate Atlantis, Stargate SG-1. I used to watch that stuff.
Yeah, I did too.
Literally walk.
In the movie, the first one was pretty good, actually.
Onto a high place and enter heaven is really not as far-fetched as it sounds. There are numerous records, including in the Bible, that appear to substantiate the idea
Hola, muchachos.
that heaven can be attained in towers or mountainous locations. So think about Moses meeting with God on Sinai.
With an H, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's spelled HOLA.
The 100 watchers that descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon.
The H is silent.
Jacob's ladder.
Is that what we should start doing here? Spanish class? I can start teaching you guys Espanol. Siéntate, por favor.
Imagine if dozens of small businesses in your town funnel $299 straight into your bank.
Okay.
Well, I learned a little bit of Spanish from my mother because she was born in Central America. She grew up. She grew up there and also in South America as well. So
I know it.
Who happens to be about an alien named called Valiant Thor who came to Earth.
I speak Spanglish though. I speak Spanglish, and my little nephews that are Spanish laugh at me because the way I pronounce the stuff.
From 1957, there was a spacecraft that landed not too far from the Pentagon, about 14 miles away. Police showed up at the scene. There was a man standing there, and basically they escorted him over to the Pentagon. This man, or this
guy's just letting all the fucking, he's just rolling over on them. Look, he's just letting out all their secrets.
entity, I should say, was here for about 3 years living at the Pentagon and working with the U.S. government. His name was Valiant Thor. Now, this is where it gets weird because
I've heard about Valiant Thor. So they say the first one that ever made contact with Eisenhower. It's all bullshit. All right, I'm taking this off. All right, see you later. We got what we could out of it. Now this is what I think is what people are really seeing.
Hey there. In this video, I'm going to comprehensively document, describe, and demystify the specific hallucinatory effect known as autonomous entities. This will be in accordance with the pre-established documentation laid out within our comprehensive subjective effect index, and will be done without resorting to metaphors, analogies, or personal trip reports. To give you a better sense, I've also done my best to accompany each aspect of these descriptions with as many relevant examples of pre-existing replications and visionary artwork from across the internet as possible. So as for the effect itself, an autonomous entity can be defined as the experience of perceived contact with a hallucinatory being that appears to be sentient and autonomous in its behavior.
Yep.
This experience has a somewhat exalted reputation within the psychonauts community, and to a lesser extent, mainstream culture in general.
I've seen it.
It is often surrounded by notions of esoteric mysticism or anecdotal assertions which clearly fall outside of standard scientific materialism. And while most famously associated with dimethyltryptamine, it is a relatively common experience at heavy dosages of a wide variety of psychedelic compounds.
Yes!
Particularly those which are more prone to inducing hallucinatory states.
Yes!
Such as ayahuasca, psilocybin, and mescaline.
Mescaline. That's what it was.
Now, in terms of their appearance and general presentation, autonomous entities and internal hallucinations in general are usually comprised from condensed psychedelic geometry. This is in a manner which can give them an incredibly complex, incomprehensible, and otherworldly aesthetic that is clearly demonstrated within the countless examples of visionary artwork shown here within this video. But as for the specific forms in which they present themselves, while they can include literally anything, certain archetypes are definitely present and commonly include humans, aliens, elves, animals, giant spheres, insectoids, beings of light, plants, cartoons, robotic machines, gods and demigods, biomechanical intelligences, anthropomorphic beings, jesters, demons,
Jesters!
indescribable monstrosities, spirits, angels, shamans, fantastical or mythological beasts, abstract geometric forms, and many, many more.
Yeah. I've seen it
Recordings just got better.
The one that I saw looked like a gesture. It was scary. But I've seen those things. I've seen them.
Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard.
Hey, Dana from StreamYard. See the duality, the darkness
During
and
their
light?
apparition, autonomous
That's some
entities
creepy as fuck shit there.
Listen.
of a perceived
This is what, do you see the black and the white checkerboard? This is what duality
Yep.
means. This is why
Yeah,
they use it.
it's Freemasonic.
No, it's not just Freemasonic. They know that you can see these creatures and these entities in between the flashes of darkness and light. So if you flash a strobe light really, really slow, right, you'll see them in between the flashes. That's where they exist, in between the darkness and the light. That's what this duality whole thing means, to me, anyway.
independent reality, which is often subjectively interpreted as a different dimension or plane of existence. These inhabited hallucinatory realms can include anything, but common archetypes often include cities, temples, rooms, circuses, caverns, natural landscapes, and abstract geometric structures.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And while they most commonly appear alone within these spaces, they can also often be within small or large groups alongside of other entities, which may take similar or completely different physical forms of their own.
Yep. That's what happened to me. So that first they came in like shadows, right? And they were moving all around, and I could tell they were real. I could tell it wasn't just no bullshit. Like they were like moving around on their own, you know? Like, and then one of them turned into a gesture, and one of them was like this big long thing right here up in the corner. And then they all look different like that. They were all different. And I thought and I was a kid, you know, I was young, and I thought they were clowns. That was the closest thing I could. That was the closest thing I could describe them to, because I seen the gesture.
Yeah.
And I heard the bells ring. I heard the bells ringing right on his hat. He was right in front of me. And
yeah, what I saw was like they looked kind of like the Grim Reaper, but I couldn't see their face. All I saw was darkness and then red glowing eyes with red glowing eyes.
That's how they start out, Jenny. They come in as like
that's what they call the shadow people.
But then if you pay too much attention to them, they stop materializing. Or if you take more of the whatever it is that the drug that you're on.
I didn't take anything. I didn't take anything. I was 3 and 4 years old at the time.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they'll start to materialize. You'll start to see that like they come in as shadows. Then when you notice them, they come out. They take like a form. And they try to show you things. They try to show you invention. It's crazy. Like things that you can't even describe. And they show it to you really fast. And before you can even tell anybody what it is, they change it. It's like something different.
Their response to the tripper, some entities do not seem to be aware of a person's presence, but many others are often precognizant of a person's appearance into their supposed realm, and usually choose to interact with them in various ways. For example, they will often display behaviors such as showing a person around the realm that they inhabit, presenting them with objects, holding spontaneous celebrations of their arrival, merging into and out of the person's body or consciousness, engaging them in conversation, and attempting to impart knowledge of various kinds.
I'm telling you, this shit is real, dude.
Overall, the general appearance, personality, and behavior of an autonomous entity often correlates with the psychological state of the person experiencing it. For example, a person with a positive mindset will more commonly experience loving, kind, and healing entities. But in contrast, a person with a negative mindset may be more likely to experience hateful, sinister, and mocking entities.
My personality must have sucked.
It's also worth noting that when experienced within the specific context of psychedelic compounds, autonomous entities are much more likely to manifest within internal hallucinations.
Yeah, well, this one sounds a bit new agey.
External hallucinations.
Yeah.
This means that entity encounters primarily occur within an imagined environment that can typically only be viewed with closed eyes, similar to those found within dreams. So, although psychedelic entities can sometimes still present themselves as seamlessly appearing within one's external environment as if they were physically present, for the majority of people, it is generally a much rarer occurrence.
I've seen that happen too, like out in the woods.
Now, in terms
They
of the
disappear.
overall visibility, presence, and clarity, entities can manifest themselves across 3 approximate levels of increasing intensity.
Morgan, you've seen this stuff before?
Level
I
1,
have.
vaguely defined presence.
They describe it
At the
pretty good
lowest
with
level,
the visuals here.
autonomous entities
They're
generally
doing a good
consist
job. I
of
like it.
poorly defined outlines and abstract shapes that are barely distinguishable.
It's just her conclusions on it is a bit new agey.
They are
Yeah,
comprised
what
of.
I'm saying
However,
is the visuals here are pretty accurate to what
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't deny that.
what I was
I don't deny that.
experiencing
That's
in real
true.
life.
these encounters
It's
are
just
still
her conclusions about what they are.
of a sensed presence of another conscious being.
Oh yeah, they're definitely demons.
Yeah, they're all demons. Even if even Satan can make himself appear as an angel of light. So just
Look
because
at
they
that.
appear to be good doesn't mean that they are.
Look at it. It looks like an alien.
Visible within one's visual field, but are not fully defined in their appearance or entirely separated from their background. At this point,
That's why people who see these things and think they're aliens, they don't really know what to say because they don't even know what to describe. Like this one looks like it has a spacesuit on. You know, like they don't know.
it also becomes more common to feel a sense of general intent.
That's why you get all these different descriptions, and some of them are similar and some of them ain't. It's because they don't really even remember what they saw.
And personality
And they
attributed
can't
to the
describe it.
entity.
It's just too much for the human brain to even describe.
Level 3, fully defined presence.
Yeah, this is what happened to me.
At this level, the autonomous entities become distinct enough in their detail and vividness to extend beyond transparent or poorly defined manifestations.
Yeah.
They are now capable of a completely
That's what happened. It was like transparent and like a shadow, and then it materialized right in front of me.
convincing and
I knew it was real.
photorealistic appearance, and their general behavior also becomes
Now,
far
check this out. I had this other experience too.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Yeah, pause it for a second.
All right. I just want to see what they're saying about this. All right, go ahead.
But when I was, I think I was 22 at the time.
Yeah.
It was I was either 21 or 22 at the time, and I was staying with my mom for a little while because me and my sister had a fight, and I was sleeping on my cot in my room, and I woke up, and there was something hovering over me. I could feel it. All the hair stood up on my body, and I couldn't move. It had me pinned.
Yeah. And what happened?
You know what I mean? It was like holding me down. I could feel it.
And what happened?
It was freaking scary, dude.
And
And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't speak. I couldn't do nothing. Couldn't move.
So that happened, and then how long did that last for?
Probably just a few minutes, but it seemed like an eternity at the time. But it's
you
probably
see-
just
did-
about
did you
maybe
see
10,
what-
5 or 10 minutes, maybe.
Did you see what the thing looked like that was standing over
I
you?
couldn't
or
see it. I couldn't see anything. All I could do is I could just feel its presence.
You knew it was there. So
I could feel the electricity coming off of it, and
Like energy?
the vibration
then what
and
happened?
everything.
It just stopped. It just went away after a minute. After a few minutes.
I guess, or it let me go.
Do you ever see like when you're in your house, like shadows like run out of the corner of your eye in a different room, and then you look and nobody's there, and you're like, you thought it was somebody?
Yeah, like if I get real sleep deprived, I might, when I was drinking, I did, there was one time when I was going through DTs and I was seeing little shadows everywhere, like out of the corner of my eyes. And I just kept looking around.
I had one time I took LSD and I was listening to the Beatles' White Album, and like the day before I just had to get rid of my puppy because it was sick. You know what I mean? And it was sad. And like the whole time I kept seeing my puppy running around the room, and I kept calling it over, and then I realized it wasn't there anymore. You know what I mean? It was fucked up.
Oh, there was another time I was going through DTs when I was in detox in Savannah that I heard my grandmother's voice. She was still alive, but and she was like in the Augusta area, so she was like about 150 miles away from me, you know, something like that. But I heard her voice like she was right there in the room with me, call my name.
Yeah.
It scared me. I was like, oh no, she would not be, if she saw me like this, she would not be happy.
And it didn't seem like it was just the drug that was doing this to me. It seemed like it was the location that I was hanging out. Like it was like a basement in this house that like every weekend we'd be in the same spot. And it made me starting to think like maybe it was something up with the house, not just like the hallucinogens were helping us see what was going on in the basement of that house. You know what I mean? Anyway, so check this out.
Communication styles. Autonomous entities can communicate with a person through a wide range of different methods and styles. These styles can include any combination of standard spoken word, telepathy, conceptual thoughts, choreographed movements, mathematics, and even geometry-based visual linguistics that generally consist of complex morphing structures that are immediately interpreted as an...
Yeah, don't take hallucinogens if you never have, or if you're not used to it, or just don't, if you're old and you never took them, just don't do it.
Innately understandable representations of specific concepts.
I still want to try the mushrooms one more time.
As for the content of their messages,
good luck.
Entities will commonly provide insights regarding overcoming personal issues in a person's life, and will occasionally help clarify philosophical or spiritual ideas. In contrast, however, they are equally likely to speak in a cryptic or nonsensical manner that seems to have no clear meaning behind it. It's also important to note that autonomous entities can seemingly never convey truly novel information to the person experiencing them. For example, they cannot provide insights about the external world that a person did not already know on some level. Instead, they can only provide alternative perspectives and help build upon pre-existing ideas. This is presumably because autonomous entities do not have access to any knowledge not already contained within the tripper's...
You know what I noticed too about taking hallucinogens, because I've taken them a lot. It's like when you first start taking them, or if you're only taking them a few times, you don't start seeing shit like this right away. It's like it takes like a while of your brain of you taking these things until you start. Then you'll start like seeing these things after a while. Like I don't know how long. I'm not gonna estimate it, but if you keep taking hallucinogens, eventually you see more and more and more and more and more shit over time.
Conscious or subconscious memories. Personality types.
Yeah, you're right, Super Sidewinder.
As far as I can tell, at least, autonomous entities will often embody at least one of a few approximate personality types that I have done my best at attempting to categorize.
She's doing a good job, actually.
Although there is admittedly considerable overlap between them, these personality types can sometimes be identified primarily through a combination of their behavior, their appearance, and an innate sense of their character that is often felt during the interaction.
I'll say whoever's this voice is doing a good job, because I tried to describe these things that I've seen and put it in pictures and in visuals and stuff, and this is a pretty good job.
These individual types are broken down and described within the following 4 approximate categories. Representations of characters. This personality type can be described as a seemingly sentient representation.
Sometimes it looks like fuzz at first, like static, and you start noticing the static starts lighting up and changing all different multicolors like this, like almost like glowing, like shimmering, and then it starts taking shapes. That's what happens. The static. It's like it comes from a static.
Of any hallucinatory
frequency,
character
maybe.
that the brain has either
owls
during the trip.
Dude.
Yeah,
already
I've seen
aware
them.
of at
I've
the
seen the
prime
owls.
time.
I've seen them.
Yes, there used to be one that would sit outside my window. I was scared of owls for the longest time.
Real
I kind of still am.
I'm saying the DMT owls. I've seen those. Not real owls in real life, Jenny.
People.
No, I don't think it was a real owl that was outside my window. I think it was demonic.
Oh, what did you
When I was
see?
three and 4, when I was seeing those shadow people, there was an owl outside my window all the time, and it was real creepy looking. And because of that, I've always had this fear of owls, like a phobia.
Look,
But now I kind of like them now, but I'm scared of them at the same time.
There's no owls in your area, like where you lived. Like, was there owls?
Oh, I'm sure, but
you think it was
no,
a
it
real
just didn't. It didn't look like a regular owl, though. No, it looked demonic.
It looked like some sort of being. It wasn't an owl.
It looked like something trying to make itself look like an owl. Like it was manifesting itself in the shape and form of an owl, but it was not an owl.
It was more like a shadow than an owl.
Kind of, but it wasn't solid. You know what I mean? It was like almost like transparent in a way.
Like you just go to bed and you'd wake up and it would be gone, or would it disappear on its own? Would it come and go? Like how?
I don't know. I was too young to I just know that I'd wake up at some point. At some point in the night I'd be awake, and I will have seen them shadow people in my closet and at the end of my bed, and when I would look towards the window on the other side of my bed, I would see that owl there, or what looked like an owl.
Look, they got Jimi Hendrix, they got the Grateful Dead, and then they got residue for the hat. You know what I'm saying? That's residue.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that weird? So there you go, boom, baby. Uncle Sam hat.
Mandela flood.
Mandela flood. But anyway, I don't really want to go off the screen to press it. But so what happened to me was we took acid and we were listening to the Beatles' White Album, and we started seeing trees in the room. We were in my friend's basement. We thought we were in the woods, right? All of us thought we were we started everything started blurring out, and we were think we were in different places. And we thought we were in the woods, and we saw these owls in the trees in the woods that we were in.
That's crazy.
Real world, or characters from fictional media. These entities will usually adopt an appropriate personality and set of mannerisms to fit the chosen character concept with an impressive degree of detail. An example of this might be meeting an insectoid mantis-like creature that is playing the role of a shamanic teacher and acting accordingly. Another might include meeting the hallucination of a deceased loved one or a currently living family friend. Representations of ideas and concepts. This personality type can be described as a seemingly sentient representation of any known concept or idea. These specific concepts could include personified representations of abstract ideas, events, and emotions. An example of this might be meeting a mocking jester that feels and acts as if it represents one's own insecurities. Another might include meeting a clockwork being that feels as if it represents entropy and the inevitable path.
It feels as though it represents one's own insecurities. That is so weird because
she just mentioned something I've heard of them. The clockwork beings, I've heard about them, but I've never that's kind of made me wonder what that is because I've never seen those.
The clockwork
I've
elves,
just heard about it.
Yeah, well, all right. Go ahead.
Passing of time.
Yeah, hold on. I'll go back a little bit.
Include meeting a clockwork being that feels as if it represents entropy and the inevitable passing of time.
So what she's trying to say is these beings, they don't really talk to you, but they give you feelings, vibrations. So you'll see the clockwork one and it feels as though it represents the passing of time. They just send you messages just from seeing them. You don't have to talk to them or anything. They just put things in your head. It's weird.
Representations of the subconscious.
Ooh, that's creepy, dude.
Any visible form, but is subjectively autonomous controller behind the continuous generation of the details of the person's current experience.
I'm telling you, man.
This
If you take enough,
What did open his eyes?
if you take enough hallucinogens for enough long amount of time consistently, you'll start seeing shit like this.
You know what it reminds me of? Pause it for a second. Pause it for a second.
Yeah,
but it reminded me of something. There was an episode of Doctor Who. It's called Don't Blink. And there were like these angel statues, right? That had their face covered.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yes, it was like if you blink. Yes, if you blink, they move towards you, and if you close your eyes long enough, they get to you. Then they take you back in time or something, and then drop you off because it's the way. That's how they get your energy. They feed off your energy and your life force by taking you back in time.
I've seen that episode. I've seen it.
That was so creepy. Out of all the episodes, that creeped me the most.
Papa Will's coming forward. He saw 5 elves on DMT. What did it say? 11 milligrams of DMT. See? He knows what I'm talking about. Papa Will knows that they're real. It's not no bullshit. It's not no hallucinogen. I'm a hallucination. When you see these things, like sometimes you hallucinate and you see things, and then you know it's a hallucination. But when you see these things and you know they're fucking real, you're like, whoa, it's fucking crazy.
Personality and internally stored model of reality.
When you see them for real,
when
for real,
interacted
for real.
with, this category of
When they
entity
show up,
can
you know
often
they're
possess
there.
abilities that allow them to directly alter and manipulate one's current experiences. In terms of their motives, they commonly want to teach or guide the
They don't
person
show up
and will
every
seemingly
time.
operate under the assumption that they know what is best for them. However, although a relatively common experience, it still cannot be known whether this type of autonomous entity is genuinely an
Yeah,
experience of
Suicide
directly
wanted to know.
communicating with the so-called subconscious mind, and what that would even mean if it were the case, or if it is perhaps merely a hallucinatory approximation that simply
Yeah.
behaves in a convincing manner.
DMT waiting room. The Psychonauts, guys. The Psychonauts.
Representation itself. This personality type can be described as a direct copy of one's own personality. It can take any visible form, but when conversed with, it clearly adopts an identical vocabulary and set of mannerisms to one's own consciousness. This entity will often take on a similar appearance to oneself,
Whoa.
but could theoretically take on any other appearance too.
That could be
During this
Bigfoot.
experience, there is also a distinct feeling that one's own consciousness is somehow being mirrored and duplicated into the hallucinated autonomous entity that is being interacted with. Okay, so to wrap this video up, and at risk of alienating a certain subsection of my audience, I would just like to make a few points regarding the beliefs which commonly surround psychedelic entities, and my personal opinion on those viewpoints. So within the Psychonaut community, and DMT users in particular, autonomous entities are commonly viewed as one of the most captivating aspects of the psychedelic experience. They are often shrouded in esoteric mystery, to the point that a significant portion of the people who encounter them will go as far as asserting that these experiences are not simply fabrications of the mind, but rather beings from another world that exists independently of the human brain. This is a viewpoint that was originally popularized in mainstream culture by the likes of Terence McKenna, who famously theorized that
Terence
the machine
McKenna.
elves he encountered under the influence of DMT were either extraterrestrial in nature, interdimensional beings from a higher plane of existence, time-traveling humans from the future, or an arcology of souls that apparently includes both our ancestors and those who have yet to be born. As far as I can tell, the most common reasonings behind this viewpoint are that the experience of encountering these entities is often interpreted as feeling more realistic and well-defined than that of any sober experience the person has ever had. Alongside this, there is often a sense that the encounter itself is so incomprehensibly complex and otherworldly that there is simply no possible way that the human brain could generate such an experience on its own. In regards to this particular notion, it is then sometimes asserted that consciousness must be an antenna of sorts that receives either all or some of its subjective experiences from that of an unknown interdimensional source. Furthermore, the source of this received input is sometimes said to be adjustable depending on the person's brain state, with substances such as psychedelics simply tuning our consciousness into the analogous equivalent of a different radio station or TV channel. This is an idea that was once again further popularized by Terence McKenna, who was famously quoted as saying, "I don't believe consciousness is generated in the brain any more than television programs are made inside my TV. The box is too small." Now, while I can personally empathize with the reasons that some people may be drawn into these conclusions after the often earth-shattering experience of a DMT trip or of a high-level psychedelic experience, I do not personally believe that autonomous entities are anything more than the profound but ultimately hallucinated products of the subconscious mind.
No, I think
Instead,
they're real.
I am quite sure that they are simply the psychedelic equivalent of the various characters and beings that most people commonly
No, I think they're real.
encounter within their dreams. Although it could be argued that autonomous entities are too characteristically different from that of dream characters to possibly be a result of the same neurological processes, I think that these differences in their appearance and behavior are largely the result of
they're
the
real.
many other psychedelic effects that are simultaneously occurring during these encounters. The most notable of which
But you
is
did do a
geometry,
good job
which
presenting
causes
it.
the hallucination to be comprised of the otherworldly
It's a
shapes
hit
and
piece.
patterns that provide autonomous entities with their distinctly hyperspatial aesthetic. Alongside of this, various other subjective effects such as synesthesia, machinescapes, recursion, time distortion, and transpersonal states can all potentially synergize into an experience that is easy to misinterpret as something occurring outside of the human mind. In my personal opinion,
Even if it happens within the human mind, right? And we think it's happening on the outside, isn't the human mind the temple of God? So, like, it's something spiritual. It might be, it's probably demonic, but it's, it could happen within and you see it without.
if autonomous entities were truly something that exists beyond the human mind, I think there would likely be at least a single verifiable case of them conveying information to a person that they did not already.
I'm a verifiable
There
case.
is.
I'm
There is.
What is it? What is it?
I know that there's actually multiple cases where it's been verified,
Can we bring them
where
up? Do you
people
know-
have gotten information and figured out things that
do
they
you
shouldn't
know-
have been able to figure out on their own.
Do you know what the cases are that I could look them up?
I can't think. I'd have to do some digging into it to find some
Jenny,
stuff. But
Jenny, you need to get on the block. Jenny
I
from the-
haven't done. I
Jenny-
haven't looked into this stuff in a long time, so
All right.
already know
I have to get refreshed on it.
conclusion of within that moment. This would also likely be testable to some degree, which has led myself and
Because you're still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now you have a lot.
my close friends to casually experiment with asking DMT entities a variety of questions over the years. These questions have included math problems,
You don't know
metaphysical
that
questions,
song, Jenny?
philosophical
Jenny from the block. You don't know that song, J-Lo? All right, I'll have to play it at the end.
questions,
Oh God!
their general nature as beings.
No, don't do that. You might get a strike.
However, each attempt at doing so
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. I used to have a little, now I have a lot.
has resulted in entities simply ignoring the question, arrogantly laughing at the absurdity of us asking them such a
That's
trivial
what
thing,
it is.
or replying with vague, ambiguous that the person's own mind could have easily come up with. This has even been the case when the entities are presenting themselves as vastly more complex, knowledgeable, and powerful than the humans that they are interacting with. Now, just to clarify, while I do believe that autonomous entities are a result of a similar process to that of dream characters, I also don't want to be reductive and downplay the often overwhelmingly profound nature of this experience. For example, within the moment that entities are presenting themselves, I believe that to varying degrees they are genuinely conscious agents that the brain is simulating alongside our own. It does not seem unreasonable to me that if the brain can simulate one conscious agent during everyday sobriety, that in certain extenuating circumstances, such as mental illnesses, dream states, and hallucinogenic experiences, it could also temporarily allocate resources into simultaneously simulating other conscious agents. I also think it's sort of interesting to consider that many autonomous entities would pass the Turing test if interviewed. And I find this particularly fascinating in conjunction with the knowledge that entities also commonly present themselves as representative embodiments of various aspects of the subconscious mind, which suggests to me that, at least to some extent, this experience may therefore allow people to directly interact with and communicate with various...
What's going on, Rose? What is that, Rose?
Journey from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Living color, the movie scripts, to all the six to J-Lo to this headline clips. I stay grounded as the amounts roll in. I'm real, I told ya, I'm really been on no brush. That's just me. Nothing, no need, don't hate on me. What you get is what you see. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. I'm down to earth like this.
Right. I don't want to play too much. You see what I'm saying? Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. I used to have a little, now I have a lot. You like it? Well, maybe we'll use it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do something with it. All right. Well, after all that, I need to. Oh wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get that buoyancy video real quick. That was a quick one. Hold on, where's the shorts? All right. He wants me to play the buoyancy video. He wants me to play the buoyancy video. Hold on. Let's play the buoyancy. Yeah. What's up?
Did you see what I sent you?
Where is it? On my phone? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I'll check.
Yeah.
So this is a buoyancy and density video. Is there any? I'll sub them. Is there any volume to it? What's going on? Oh, hold on. Here we go. That's my
sponge
fault.
floats on the top. Pretty cool, huh? They've all got different densities. Because this syrup is denser than the water, it sinks to the bottom. Then pour in some cooking oil and leave it to settle. Now watch what happens when I drop in this heavy metal nut. It sinks right down to the bottom. But when I drop in this grape, which isn't quite as dense, it sinks down through the top two layers and sits on top of the syrup. This bottle top slowly sinks down through the oil and sits on the water. And this piece of sponge floats on the top. Pretty cool, huh? They've all got different densities. Because this syrup is denser than the water, it sinks to the bottom. Then pour in some cooking oil and leave it to settle. Now watch what happens when I drop in this heavy metal nut. It sinks right down to the bottom. But when I drop in this grape, which isn't quite as dense, it sinks down through the top two layers and sits on top of the syrup. This bottle top slowly sinks down through the oil and sits on the water. And this piece of sponge floats on the top. Pretty cool, huh?
Okay.
They've all got different densities. Because this syrup is denser than the water, it sinks to the bottom. Then pour in some cooking oil and leave it to settle.
So what he's trying to show you is how the Earth is, okay? So at the bottom we have like water, right? And as you know, the whole Earth is made out of water. Even the air, even us, has water. Different types of water. Oxygen has water. So as you
now watch what happens when I drop in this heavy metal nut. It sinks right down to the bottom. But when I drop in this grape, which isn't quite as dense.
So like this is how gravity works. Gravity is not real, but this is how it would work. You know what I'm saying? With buoyancy and density.
Yeah, this is what we're really working with. It's not gravity, it's buoyancy and density.
Exactly. But yeah, so it's like, things that are heavy will go to the bottom of the ocean. Some things will stay up a little bit higher, and then, things that are lighter like that will really float to the top of where the oxygen is.
Down through the top two layers.
And we don't really know what the firmament is made out of.
And sits on top of the syrup. This bottle top slowly sinks down through the oil.
I'm thinking it's some type of water. Maybe it's a different form of water that we don't really know about.
And sits on the water.
What about the firmament?
What the firmament is made out of. the firmament itself.
Oh,
on the
now
top.
I heard it's something they call it sky stone.
I know. I showed it the
It's
other
like it's like ice. It's like a
could be
form
ice.
of ice.
Yeah, but I showed
But-
something the other night that
but
was
it's
an actual
different.
stone.
It's
I showed-
different though.
It's different,
it,
right?
It vaporizes when it melts. When it melts, it doesn't turn into water. It turns into like air.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? They've all got different densities. Because this syrup is denser than the water, it sinks to the bottom. Then pour in some cooking oil and leave it to settle. Now watch what happens when I drop in this heavy metal nut. It sinks right down to the bottom. But when I drop in this grape, which isn't quite as dense, it sinks down through the top 2 layers and sits on top of the syrup. This bottle top slowly sinks down through the oil and sits on the water, and this piece of sponge floats on the top. Pretty cool, huh? They've all...
So that's a simple experiment, provable, testable, repeatable science, real science that you can do on your own to prove.
You know, I just thought about something. I wonder if that's what they're really referring to when they talk about ozone, the ozone layer. Like that's what it really is the sky stone, the firmament.
Yeah. I'm going to take a break.
Yeah.
If you're going to maintain the paradigm that everything you see in the sky is an actual solar system, then you're never going to be able to really comprehend my data. What I believe is that our entire sky is simulated. And the sky is going to perpetuate the illusion that the sun is 93 million miles away. I don't believe any of that. This illusion of stars and this canopy that's over us that has us believing that there is freedom up there when it's not. We're in a contained area. The simulacrum is based off quantum principles. We are living within a mathematical construct that is operative every 138 years. I believe we live in a sentient biogram that is far more advanced than we're able to attain right now.
For fuck's sake. No one's breaking out the firmament. It's a spinning vortex and it's permanent. They already tried with Operation Fishbowl, but all I did was cause atmospheric turbulence. I told you. No one's breaking out the firmament. We're not. I'm positive, that's one thing I'm certain of. They already tried it with the Hadron Collider, but it never worked out and now it's disconcerting them. Everyone is trapped, we ain't going anywhere. You should be petrified, you should be very scared. If you wanna see the future, I'm already there. Everyone is trapped, we ain't going anywhere. And when you die, you're coming back, and that's a fact. And when you die again, you're coming back again, cause it's a trap. I must have done a couple 100,000 laps, but now I'm tired, I just need to take a nap. No one's breaking out the glass dome. Send help, I need to find a path home. I'm feeling homesick, that's why my heart's cold. All I see is disembodied entities and dark souls. Non-player characters, please don't talk to me, cause I will punch you in your face very forcefully. I wouldn't do that type of thing normally, but everyone is trapped in these magnetic vortices. I can manifest reality, I tempt fate. I'm overcoming all these algorithmic templates. I've been flying around the world with no restrictions, cause I don't need the job, but you mad, I'm exempt, mate. Don't piss me off, you know my strength's great. I just need to be alone, I need some headspace. I'm a very complicated person, I was meditating in assembly in 10th grade. Embrace your multi-dimensionality. Question everything, because anything is possible and everything is energy. You are a multi-dimensional god trapped inside a holographic matrix simulation. As we collapse this construct and break the endless cycle of reincarnation.
Wow. No one's breaking through the glass dome. I'm out at sea, I'm lost, I'm looking for the stars home. I keep on going north and going very far, bro. Discover ancient land underwater, that is raw, bro. This hidden continents, and you can't quite believe it. Practice meditation, astral travel, lucid dreaming. Do that every night and every day by using breathing. If you wanna question me, I'll kill you, bro, your soul is leaving. The bravest fucking heathen, all these people gases screaming. Isometric on the set, leaving people's insides bleeding. I don't have a reason, I just think I'm hearing demons. I know this voice ain't mine, I'll overcome and I'll defeat it. Control, I'll delete it. My bars are more than deepish, magic spells, I feel it. Energy is creeping, up my spine I'm healing. I know I'm a light being, I've been to the 5th dimension. I know what they are concealing. No one's breaking at the firmament, cause all I see is NPCs, I think I'll murder them. All these ancient lands, you ain't ever heard of them. I'm just talking truth and I don't know why it's hurting them. My mission on this plane was a predetermined one. I'm looking for the answers, I need to start relearning them. I do some meditation, now I am observing them. I guess it's syncretism, all these pedos you are serving them. I'll fucking burn the cunts, diverting, I am cursing them. I think we just alerted them, the AI is preserving them. 33.4% will ascend, transferring them. They're getting out this holographic matrix, I'm converting them. I'm reading all the files, I keep the knowledge in my brain. And I have rolled for miles, nothing's getting in my way. I used to love this world, the smile was taken from my face. 20 years from now, we will see this system break.
I have many videos that are explaining the astronomical anomalies that the scientific community doesn't want to talk about, such as parallax, the lack of parallax, the actual documented photo templates that astronomers have studied for the past 100 years showing that no matter what Earth's position is, not one single instance of parallax has ever been documented, and that's impossible. It's absolutely.
I thought it was you, but I get it.
Yeah, that's why I put I sent you a message in the private chat.
All right. We'll stop it for now. All right. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. All right. I found some videos. What's up, Jenny? Are you back? You want to keep going?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Let's see. What do I got here? All right, let's do this one next.
Yeah, I just might have to keep muting my mic every now and then.
Underwater lake reveals forbidden portal. All right, let's see. Makeup commercial.
Listeners, you are listening to Feed Your Mind News Report. In today's episode, we will be discussing the underwater lakes that were discovered. This is what appears to be a firmament below the earth. These underground lakes are reported to be saline waters, but I dismiss that and suggest that some of these lakes might in fact be the underground part of the dome firmament. And so now we're beginning to learn the dimensions of the dome firmament beneath our feet. No man has ever reached the 9th mile beneath the earth. And under the deepest oceans, we have discovered that there's areas where submarines can't even submerge beyond. James Cameron happened to reach the record-breaking 7-mile mark beneath the oceans, and that was it. And so we have about 1.5 miles in the cave systems, about 8 miles in the drill systems, and about 7 miles beneath the ocean. So all of this says that we can definitely dismiss that we know anything going on beneath 8 miles underneath the earth. And so a strange part about beneath the oceans is that they're saying that there's lakes underneath the ocean. And so these lakes seem to be made of heavy water, but most of these lakes are said to be deadly. There has been reports that this water is very dense and poisonous and toxic. Apparently, this water is 5 times saltier than the rest of the ocean, and it is full of a deadly toxic mixture of methane and hydrogen sulfide. But there's other reports that are attached to these underwater oceans. And this is where it gets even stranger, because there's been reports that some of these underground lakes have a hard barrier.
One of the strangest places on the ocean's floor was only just discovered in the 1990s. And 9th Degree is one of a handful of people to ever see it in person.
Without a doubt, one of the most amazing things that I have ever seen in the bottom of the ocean. And it was while filming for Blue Planet. It was in the Gulf of Mexico. And I noticed there's something out in the distance. Couldn't tell exactly what, but it looked like a dark band. And as we approached it, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut. It was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of steam over it. And then I looked, and there was water lapping against the shoreline. This band was a ring of mussels. And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute. I'm already underwater. And we went out over the water in this lake and tried to descend in it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down in it. We literally bounced off, and as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it.
And so what do you think about this testimony? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Another strange thing is that James Cameron made a movie called The Abyss, where the explorers ended up reaching depths that have never been reached before in the ocean. And they ended up running into intelligent beings under the water, deep below in the abyss. And so this James Cameron guy appears to be revealing clues to us through his movies, possibly. And so before we get out of here, allow me to analyze this underwater lake from another perspective. Because in another video that I did called Nephilim Dinosaurs, we discussed the sea serpents like the Rahab and the Leviathan. These sea dragons are sometimes described as a serpent-like creature, and so some of these sea creatures could be something in the shape of a giant water snake. And so as I was observing this underwater lake, I noticed that it was in a circular shape, and so that got me thinking about snake holes. And so I was wondering, would you all consider that this could possibly be a hole created by one of these sea serpents, like the Leviathan or the Rahab? If the flat earth is enclosed with water above and below, who knows what type of sea serpents might exist below the earth? There's biblical descriptions of an abyss area that is full of water below us. And so is it possible that this underwater lake could be where the Leviathan or some type of creature like that is kept, and it is being sealed off until the end times? Maybe that hole will be opening up in the end times. Who knows? And who knows what type of creature could possibly come out of this underwater lake that submarines could not enter. It's a possible force field or something keeping this thing secure. It doesn't sound like salt alone would be reason enough for a submarine to not be able to descend into the depths of this underwater lake. This underwater lake could be a portal to the underworld, or a portal to the abyss, or possibly even Sheol. And so let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. If you want to learn much more about Beneath the Earth, check out this video about the core of the earth I just did. It's called Proof the Core of the Earth is Not As We Have Been Told. We go into much more detail than this video because we also explore the deepest caves and the deepest drill exploration beneath the earth. It appears to me that the bottom of the dome firmament is roughly 9 miles beneath us. Join my Patreon page for as little as $1 and we'll give you a sneak peek by email when a new video is about to drop. Learn how to remove the fluoride from your water by visiting HQH2O. I'll leave a link in the description box and the comment section. This has been a Flat Earth News Report by Brainstorm from Feed Your Mind. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Signing off.
Okay, so I don't know. I got this. This looked pretty cool. How you doing over there, Jenny? Hanging in?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. All right.
Come to TurboTax.
Don't do your taxes. Just don't do your taxes. You've seen it. Don't do your taxes. Just don't do them.
Well, at least it stopped me sleeping on the late night tonight.
Should I press the button? Should I press the button and see if it wakes him up? Hold on 1 second.
Maybe. No, but he might need his sleep though.
No.
He has to go back to work tomorrow night.
Hold on. Let's just see if it works. So. Is it loud there? Is it loud there? Is
What?
it loud? Like, do you have like speakers on or something? Is there a way he's gonna hear it? Is he gonna hear this at all? All right, let's see.
Oh yeah. I don't have the headphones on because I had to take them off because they're.
You slept. Warning, the self-destruct system has been activated. Option to override self-destruct expires in 10 minutes.
Where's that? Let's see.
No, he didn't wake up at all. Just like the.
It's weird, yeah.
I've heard somebody else tell a story about it.
I got the chorus down. It's the Mandela effect. We're shifting again. It's the Mandela effect. Everything's different again. You know? So, yeah, ready? I started looking at the Mandela effect. It blew my mind. The shit wasn't correct. Trying to figure out just how it connects and what the fuck I was gonna do next. It's the Mandela effect. We're shifting again. The Monopoly man. Monocle is missing again. I think they even got to the Michelin man. In the Statue of Liberty, it keeps switching the hand.
Did you know your reality is being put to the test? The Panama Canal no longer runs east to west. Things you are sure happened never did in this reality. The crunchy cereal with the captain now has the apostrophe. I started noticing changes in like 2014. It was JFK, the sixth seat, and it seemed so obscene. Many people will try and call me a loon, but hold up, wait, they even changed the spelling of Looney Tunes.
Okay. I used to eat a Chick-fil-A every day before they added the K.
So what's causing this? Many want to know. Well, I don't think it's CERN. It's just a magic show. Satanists doing rituals while scamming mad dough. Sounds familiar, like liars that always show us the globe. NASA, NIST, CERN, and more. We really need to show these corrupt agencies the door. I don't think this phenomenon is caused by man. I think it's a great awakening. It may be God trying to contact us the best way he can. For me, Flat Earth, Mandela, and our dreams are all connected. Look at the pull some people in that I can intersect with.
The bridge! Yeah, there it is. Alright, cool. So I didn't screw you over. Alright, cool. Alright, here we go. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. Alright. Earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? The earth is flat. Now what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat. Now what you gonna do about it? The earth is flat. Now tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. The earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? I thought you knew about it. Would you rather do without it? We're the center. The sun and moon moves around it like a clock. Can you hit a moving target with the rocket? I'm not hard to get along with. Just take a bong hit. Do you serve up any content? The stars are constant. You want a conversation for it? It makes me vomit. We never do get hit by comments. You want it. Leave another useless comment in the morning. The earth is flat. Tell me what you gonna do about it. What you gonna do about it? We know it's flat. And there is a bunch of us. Them globies munching on a bunch of snuffleupagus. You think it's cute? Then why not cuddle up with us? We know it's flat. Why you making such a fuss? My supper was the fucking best. That's just because the earth is flat. It hit me like an uppercut to the nuts. The earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. The earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. With a Russian with the crew, don't forget to brush after your food. They got asteroids, asteroids, and asteroids too. The earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. The earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? The earth is flat. There's nothing you can do about it. The earth is flat. There's nothing you can do about it. The earth is flat. It's fucking flat. The earth is fucking flat. The earth is fucking flat. The earth is fucking flat. How did the voice
very good, bravo.
Did it line up with the you know, and then I got this, I got Late Night Live. I don't know why. It's weird, yeah. It's weird.
Hello, X5 level 6, please validate. Alice in Wonderland, Pig and Pepper, Humpty Dumpty, Pig and Pepper. Thank you, sir. How may I assist you? Could you patch me into General Davidson, please? Certainly, please stand by. Hello. Hey, Johnny. It's Bobby over at CERN. How you doing, bro? Listen, congratulations on attaining 660 million AI human hybrids down there. Great job. Thanks, Bobby. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. What's the latest? Well, I got some great news. We just found Final Destination. And this reality stream is toxic. We're talking the chocolate.
Oh, geez.
Can't even right. As well as spinach.
In fact, General, all leafy
vegetables and carrots and radishes, sweet potatoes. We'll just keep telling them to eat their vegetables and we'll have the surface.
Yeah, call bullshit on that because I think they're just saying that shit because they don't want us to eat the healthy stuff.
I will just keep telling them to eat their vegetables.
Ready for you.
No, what he's trying to say is that now there's cadmium, lead in chocolate, spinach, potatoes, and it wasn't.
Well, that's what they're saying, but I don't believe it.
Was it always like that though?
I ain't buying it because I think they're just saying that shit to make us want to avoid eating stuff that's actually healthy for us.
Who's saying it? Where did you hear it?
Well, no, I haven't heard it, but I'm just saying that they're probably saying that because they don't want us to eat that stuff because it's actually good for us.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but what he's trying to say is that it's a Mandela effect. Watch. Yeah, I see it. All the programming to get people to eat vegetables and stop eating meat. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it both ways. But yeah, Popeye, eat your spinach when you're a little kid. I mean, it's a little sketchy. All right, that's all. Moving along.
I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode. So today, we're just going to be looking at these old maps of Tartaria, really focusing on the northeast of Tartaria. So recently we have been looking more at the empires of Tamerlane and the sections that go into like Little Tartary, which would be over here on the map. But today we're just going to be having a look at this map because it has quite a lot of information written on it. And fortunately for you, I have got a translation.
Nice.
So we're going to look at some of this stuff, see what it says. And
dude, this is awesome because I've been looking at these maps and they're all in Russian and I can't understand them and he's going to translate them. Let's go.
Hopefully you learn some things about Tartary.
Yeah, this guy's good. I just recently found out about him.
I just found this video right now.
A lot of Tartarians
I have no idea.
Refer to the emperor as the Sham or the Khan. It can be different, but it might imply that the Sham actually comes from more to the northeast and the Khans come from around here. So that is a possibility. So if we come down to the bottom left, this bit here says, this map contains the area of Tartaria with the remaining part of East Asia to the Morning Ocean, subject to the Great Khan, whose might is bounded by the River Ob, Lake Cathay, the Volga, the Caspian Sea, the River Shezl, the mountains of Uson, the area of Tibet, the River Karamora, and the ocean. So before we read any more, we're just going to examine some things that we can see on this map. So down here is obviously Japan, listed there, and it's in quite a strange position compared to where we'd consider Japan to usually be, much more south, because as you can see, China is down here. On this side, we can see America, and down here is California, but not the state of California. This is the California from the Mexican side, the Baja California, which is here. So normal California is just a little bit higher. And around here would be where San Francisco is located today, somewhere possibly in this section here, maybe a bit higher. But it is difficult to work out. But as you can see, this has quite a lot of cities on this coast, which is interesting. The Spanish had apparently reached this coast by 1513, but would they have had all these towns built by then? Now you can see here that this particular map comes from 1609, apparently, from Abraham Ortelius. So that's almost 100 years since the Spanish had apparently reached the west coast of America. Would they have already created this many towns and cities by that point? You tell me. Or are these possibly people that have made the jump over? There are stories that the people of Azarath, which we will be learning a small bit about here, but the tribes of Azarath apparently made the jump across there into America and became the Native Americans, which could possibly be the connection to Tartaria in America. Now down here is the Caspian. It usually runs north to south, but on this map and on quite a few others, they seem to draw it with more of a west to east positioning, which is rather strange, but that could just be due to numerous factors to do with the way they were deciphering the North Pole at that point, and the fact that these maps will be a conglomeration of multiple maps taken from areas, so it's reliant on individual areas to have their shit together. Astrakhan is right here, so we know of Astrakhan. It's at the north end of the Caspian Sea, and if we go to here, this is the region of Astrakhan, and up here is Kazan, as part of the region of Kazan here, and that's the city of Kazan.
I want to move to Kazan.
So we've seen those before on the channel. We've seen maps of them, and we've also seen what they look like today. So if you'd like to see that, go and check that other video.
I'm going to call up the airline tomorrow, and I'm going to ask for plane tickets to these places.
But here is Crimea, so that is Ukraine today, and that is Little Tartary, or Lesser Tartary, or as it became known, Little Russia, and Ukraine eventually. So we'll move up to here and see.
Well, where I'm at is
we're just looking at this
right
section.
at the edge of Tartaria.
The Nephilites are named Neptali after one of the 10 tribes with a Hebrew name, and after the Danites, who by way of punishment were called the Danes of the Dark North. and they were on account of the claims of Rachel Balber, placed to the side in the area of the Hudoras or Iudoras. In the year 476, they were victorious in their battle against Perosa. Others call them incorrectly Euthalites. So that's quite interesting. Some things to look up who this Perosa person is. That they apparently defeated in 476. So that is the Nephilites, and it's also referring to the Danites, which I'm sure a lot of you will have heard of the Danites before. The Danes of the Dark North. That's quite an interesting name, isn't it? So we'll have to keep that in mind for future videos. Maybe that'll pop up again and we'll piece these things together.
I bet it will.
It says the Scythian Ocean, according to Plinius, has sweet water, and he also says it contains many islands, as Marco Polo also says, but neither of the two tells about their number or location. So, according to Marco Polo and this other dude, this has sweet water.
Marco Polo!
Sounds pretty
Marco.
unrealistic, but that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
Assume that today.
I remember playing that when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think that must be where it's referring to. It's either that or the East Siberian Sea, but obviously the map for Siberia is incomplete. The way that this goes up here seems incorrect. That possibly be down here facing there, but we're not entirely sure, because this is, you know, prime Siberia region right next to Moscow here. This is Russia, so, you know, when you consider Ukraine, this is very close to Europe. It's not as far as modern day maps would suggest you'd have to go, which is strange. And especially when it comes down to these cities on the coast, assume you'd be aware that the ocean was actually in front of you, you know? You could tell the difference between grass and fucking water. Now this bit here where it says it says Tabor. So Tabor or Tiber, center of the area of the Tatars, where once the holy books got lost, yet they are united under one king, who in 1540 first reached France and King Franciscus, and later, at the initiative of Charles V, was burnt at the stake for his heresy, because he had secretly endeavored to convert Christian kings to the Jewish religion, about which he had spoken with Charles V. Now, Charles V was the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire for a number of years in the 16th century, which does match what he seems to be saying, as well as King Francis. Clearly, there was somebody here who got involved, and he made it all the way to France and was supposedly attempting to convert Christian kings or Christian leaders from Europe to Judaism. That's what it seems to be suggesting, and he was burnt at the stake for that. So that's very intriguing, isn't it, to think that this king has gone into Europe and been killed by the Roman Empire. That is something to debate. Now, another interesting thing that we'll look at, in Czechia, there is a place called Tabor. Now, it's clearly not the same Tabor, because that is obviously referencing something that is beyond Russia in Siberia region. I was looking at Tabor. I noticed that the coat of arms for Tabor looks like this. So if any of you guys have been watching the other videos, you might recognize this, and particularly in the black and yellow. The black and yellow is something we see on a lot of Tartarian flags, and the double eagle, which we were seeing in the last book all over, particularly Russian cities that had been obviously under the control of either Muscovite empires or Tartarian empires at other points. So I found that quite interesting to see this appear in Tabor. So is this city named after these people, or have they moved there from Tabor in Tartaria? It also raises questions about if World War I was actually against the Tartarians, because if we look at the Austro-Hungarian Empire for a moment, now here we are on the coat of arms of the Austria-Hungary Empire between 1915 and 1918, which was literally during World War I. We can see not only have they got the Tartarian griffin with the yellow and black, but they also have the double eagle, or double phoenix, as some people like to call it. Doesn't really
Kind of
matter.
makes me think of that song that came out a while back, Black and Yellow.
Black and yellow format. This is getting extremely curious about why this image seems to keep reappearing everywhere. You can call eagle there, this single eagle here, and this unification of empires. There is a double there that's facing that way. But as you can see, this imagery just keeps appearing. But now we come to Azarath.
Makes me think he knew something when he sang that song.
Tatar or Tartar area to Scythia.
The song
Since
Black
then,
and Yellow?
They are called Goths.
Yeah.
Confirming God's highest glory. And here lies the splendid kingdom of Cathay, or Cathay, whichever way that's really pronounced. So, let me see.
Cathay. Uh-oh.
I got it.
Oh.
I like that song. Is this it? Yeah, is it Wiz Khalifa? Yeah, it was. Let's see if they get away with it.
No, I wouldn't play it too long.
I'll play it.
You know everything you need.
But I
It's
won't play
right
the
at
video.
your fingertips. So you can spend a little less to get a little more. Life a little better.
So these guys apparently have had wars with the Khans, but the Khans could never win. Apparently this place was called Chryse, or however that's pronounced. Now I do have some translations.
No dad pits on the late night.
There's here great quantities of aromatic leaves. Also wanted to bring your attention to Bulgar there. If you don't know this, the Bulgarians actually come from here. This is the old Bulgaria before they got moved out and they had to go. So this was the kingdom of Bulgar, and it's the Bulgar because they're from the Volga River. The B and the V sometimes get swapped. So they are the people who come from this river. So the Bulgarians, really interesting piece of history for you there. But down here it says here rubies are found. Here at Tangut, it actually says here the art of printing was invented thousands of years ago, as they say. So apparently printing was invented thousands of years ago in Tangut, according to this map. This is the mountain I was talking about. It says Mount Althay, where all the emperors of Tartaria are buried. Seems to have been described by Haithon the Armenian under the name of Belgium. So yeah, as you can see that this that's the Belgian mountains, which is weird, or Mount Althay as it was called. And up here with the Danites.
So all the Tartarian
Scythian promontory.
Wow, that's crazy.
Of the Danite or
Belgian
Danite,
mountains.
a tribe which has disappeared because it has been expelled or has left. So it's really starting to look like the tribes of Israel come from Russia, isn't it, at this point? A lot of rumors that the Danites appeared in Ireland. So is it possible that these Danites left here and went to Ireland? There's a text, I'll have to find it, but it was an Irish text talking about our Irish armies having battles in the east, and a soldier says, "Sir, I've caught a Tartar." And I was like, I don't remember
Interesting.
war in the middle of Mongolia, so I found it odd that they'd be having a fight with Tartars, unless, of course, Danites have arrived in Ireland. Now that suddenly makes sense, doesn't it? Because Tatars have arrived and they're having battles. And down here, just under Tibet, it says, from these mountains, stones are thrown up, which are used as fire instead of wood. So they're talking about charcoal there. So they were using charcoal from Tibet many, many years before the West had discovered.
I wonder what his thoughts are about the Welsh.
Of questions.
I don't know.
So
Go
it
ask
brought us
him.
to this second map that we're just going to have a little look at. I'm not entirely sure what date it was, but it's from around
My father's Welsh.
a bit younger, but it's definitely within 50.
And Gypsy.
The other one, American parts over here. It's not got anything detailed. Something interesting is that Korea seems to be listed as an island, which is strange. You can see the wall of China here. That's important because
it was
if
there.
you do a Google today of where Tenduk is,
See, I've had a strong suspicion for a long time that my father is descended from the tribe of Levi.
it says that
Well,
some
look
of
at this. He
Great
said the
Wall
Great Wall
has
of
been
China was
constructed.
there.
These maps will show you that Tenduk
Look.
is quite.
I don't think it was just a Great Wall of China. I think it went all the way around.
Considering the
No,
dates
but this
these
is
were
where
constructed, the
Tartaria
section of
is.
Hohhot that was built
Where
was
the Great
apparently
Wall
made,
of
I think,
China
by the
is.
King
You get it?
Dynasty.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is where the Great Wall of China is, I think that's only a portion of the wall. I think the wall went all the way around. It completely encircled. I think it completely encircled Tartaria, the Great Wall of Tartaria.
That's what he's trying to say. If you let it,
Tenduk. The region, the Tenduk region, with the Tenduk city, and it says Tenduk, in which the Christians reigned anno J29. Now this is interesting because if we go on other pictures, other maps of this, it will say something along the lines of 1290 or J290. So has there been an O there that's been knocked off? Or is this saying that it's J29, which the J obviously means a 1. So that would be anno 129. I know a lot of people will say the J stands for Jesus, which is possible. At the moment, we're going to go with the official story that it means a 1 for the sake of argument. So that says built in the year 129. Is there a 0 here that we can't see? You can also see the city of Tartar there, the Tartar Flu, which is Tartar River, Magog from Gog and Magog. So we've come over to this third map now, where we can see once again Tenduk is here, and this time it says that it was created in the reign of the Christians, and I can't exactly tell what that says. I would say
it says Paul.
It could be J290 if there's a missing section there of the 9, or J213. So either way, that's saying that it's created in the year 1200s-ish, it looks like. Once again, there's the city of Mongol, there's Tartar, and see here, Tarakan, where all the Tartarian kings are supposedly buried. And there is, you can't really tell from here, but these are actual pyramids. So we'll see that on another map in a sec, just how pyramid-like they are, which raises some even more interesting questions. So on this one, we can see Gog. So this is another different one here. We can see Tenduk here. Doesn't have any list for when it was created, but we can see Gog, Mongol, and Magog is here. Looks like it's
Magog.
So it says Mongol, Magog, something there. The Tartar Flu. So I think it might be talking even about this river. But so Gog and Magog again coming up, and we've got these pyramids. So these very, very tall pyramids there, and that's apparently where Tartarian emperors of old were buried.
Oh, wow.
And they say the kingdom of Tartaria is underneath here, whatever that means. It was this book where we can have a little peek at what it says about Tenduk. Notice all that interesting land that it has up there. We're not doing this today, but yeah, some interesting stuff over there. Like Chilaga, stuff like that. But not today. I think that's a town that's just south of Tenduk. There are, aside from Mongol up here, there isn't any reference to those names that we saw earlier. We can see Turkestan down here, which is at least a little part of it, and the Caspian Sea, which again is running east to west, which is just strange. And this here, you can't tell what it is, but that's a lake that doesn't exist anymore, called Lake Kithay. We'll go and see that in a sec. Tartaria, where does it tell you that Tartaria is? It doesn't say Tartaria is over here. See, that's Cathay. There's China, there's India, there's Persia. Where does it say Tartaria is?
Right there.
That's interesting, isn't it? Right above Crimea.
Africa.
So what country is right above Ukraine?
Well, that's Italy.
So as you see, Prussia, Germania, and even these look like they're a little more east than they should be, but that could just be the map, because obviously Germany should be over here and Prussia right next to it here, but this is suggesting Prussia and Germany around this coast. Obviously you can see Italia, Gaul, Hispania, Barbaria. So you see this, Barbaria, what happened there? King Arthur and some Romans apparently were having a fight over here when some Vandals, who are Tartarians, came rushing at them, started giving the Romans some trouble. King Arthur had a little skirmish with the two of them, won the battle, and these Tartarians fled south into Spain. They crossed over the Pillars of Hercules, took over this section here, and settled their capital. That's how they became the Barbarians. So take away that R, Baba, Aryan. Get it? So it's the father Aryans. These would have been Muslims coming from this bit here, going down, taking with them Islam. Well, that's the notion anyway. It's very confusing because people are going to talk about how Tartaria is Christian. Well, the Christian section of Tartaria comes from over here. Okay, so it's all backwards. It's everything is the opposite of what you've been told. The Christian sections of Tartaria comes from here, as well as the Jewish. Okay, the Jewish and the Christian sections come from here. The Muslim sections of Tartaria come from over here and down here. Obviously, this is where the Muslim sections were, which is why you see the same kind of culture between the Russians and the Tartarian bits down here going into Persia. So this was all shared, and then Islam went that way too, and down like that. You see, Christianity hasn't come from over here and spread out. It's come from over here, and it's taken over. You see? Over to the other side of the page section like this, you can actually see that Tenduk is listed as being there. We can't see the city, but we can see the region. Now, Mongol up here, and Tenduk down there. So, as you can see, it does exist. Very hard for me to get from this angle. It does exist. There's your Caspian Sea there. Moscovia, Russia, the bit that was listed as Tartaria a second ago. You see how interesting that is, that this bit here is apparently Tartaria. So you've got to remember, Little Tartary here, Big Tartaria here, Dependent Tartary was all this section here, with bits of this bit as well. And then you've got like the Kazakh Tartarians over here. Crazy, there's so many. This is another one. You see Kazakh Tartary. Kazakh Tartarians were down here. Yeah, this is the missing lake, which is actually quite funny as well. Check this. So this is our missing lake. It's lake not usually called that.
No.
Lake Cathay. It's completely disappeared. We think there's a possibility because there's like a hydro power station around here nowadays that it could be connected, but even these bits have been drained. So with the way that the water
can't believe it, I just said that on there.
We are looking at something very strange because again, if you guys can find any of this stuff, like these pyramids in particular, like I'll try and find this better photo for the pyramids. One second.
If you can find,
I just wanted to bring you over to this one because
listen,
I felt like this really.
If you can find the pyramids right here, make an Indiana Jones movie out of it and make $1 million, right?
He emphasized that we're seeing pyramids over here as well. I was wondering if there's pyramids over here, there's tribes of Israel over here, there's a Rome over here. Is there any chance maybe there might have been an Egypt over here too? And maybe the Egypt we see today in Africa is made to look like this one? Maybe. Or maybe they're just connected. Maybe they were the same society spread out across the world. But I find that very interesting. Why are we not seeing the Siberian fucking pyramids? And also notice how a lot of this land is painted to look extremely green, whereas this supposed section of Siberia should be pretty frosty. Not the nicest place to live, but hey. And as you can see over here, this one says Tenduk, which was founded with the Christians, something Paul J290. So that is 1290. We need to try and find it. We need to try and find this whole area and see what we can do, because there is so much. As you can see, the Magog Dictator there, Summon Gul. It sounds like it'd be from Mordor, that, doesn't it? But either way, if you guys can help me locate this stuff, that'd be great.
Okay, so
we'll have a look as well down here.
So we've pinpointed the area. All you boots on the ground mud flood researchers, get out there. All right? Get out there and find this stuff. Stop fucking around.
We can say our missing lake, Kithay Laketh. Kithay Laketh. Right next to this town of Emil. Let me know if you find any of these places or if you have any good ideas.
I want to see boots on the ground.
Thank you very much for tuning into that episode. If you can find any of those places, get back to me.
Yep.
Like I say, this is apparently...
If you can find any of those places, get back to me.
Where some of the holy books were lost and shit like that. So there is a lot.
The shit like the holy books were lost there?
A lot of information, a lot of intel in here that we need to get cracking into. Thank you for watching. It's good if you'd like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. And also, yeah, so this is what I'm trying to say is like, you know, like it's interesting to look at these maps and stuff like that, but like,
you know, I've always been fascinated with maps, especially old maps, since I was a kid.
I'm saying, get out there and find these fucking things. You know what I mean? I'm looking for generals. What do I got?
You bums forgot how to kill
Foot
people?
soldiers.
Doesn't your work mean anything to you anymore? Have you no sense of pride in what you do? No sense of duty? No sense of destiny? I'm looking for generals! What do I got? Foot soldiers!
Dickie? Do you know Dickie?
Dickie Starbucks on the case, and you know by the look up on your face that you've been.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that
under your stuff somewhere.
You really feel like getting up and presenting it to everybody and going over it? I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you're going to bring it up, you might as well get up off your ass and get on the screen and show us.
Yeah, I can send you a link.
I mean, if you feel up to it, if you're going to bring it up, you might as well bring it on the show and explain it and present it. Logan, I know you're just waking up, but I'm saying, like, I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people bringing things up and not demonstrating them. You know what I mean? Like, anything we talk about needs to be proven from now on. Anything in general. Just whatever we talk about needs to be proven and shown on the screen. Don't even bring it up if we're not going to show it. You know what I'm saying? Frozen? I think they froze. All right, let's see if he comes up with this map. I think he will. He's just waking up.
Stay chugging on a 40-ounce brain cells fry. Like a clam strip all day, get high. Never-ending story, fell course, stay fly. Mom's a math teacher, so I gotta multiply. Not a mathematician myself, so I ride in my 98 Altima parked outside. Hustling mixtapes and trying to get by. W-E-double-B, follow with a Y. Motherfucker, that's me, and I be so cool. To be on my level, you're gonna need a step stool. Always been a troublemaker, gotta break rules. Breaking every law until they kick me out of school. So amped up, you think I'm chugging jet fuel. Chasing a bottle of moonshine with it, no duels. And no door rules, let me pull a Billy Madison and have them slipping on banana peels. If they challenge him, I'm baffling any competitor with what I'm rapping. And the future's looking bright, I think I'm staring at a halogen. Born in 88, I got it tatted on my abdomen. Product of the 90s, everyday practicing. Then it started happening, turned into a beast. Full bred pit with a little Maltese. Woof, slaughter any track that I see. You've now been warned, you better hide your beats. I'ma never give a fuck about you. I'm just doing what I do. Murder any beat I put my mind to. Thought you knew that's what I do. Rapping on the mic till my face turns blue. Through and through, that's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do. Stop sleeping over there, man, pass the blunt. L ride around town and be back for lunch. Got a full plate of beats and some Captain Crunch. Mean on the mic, only lost a battle once. Everybody else murked them, cooked it up, served them. Pen in hand, I got the dexterity of a surgeon. Freestyle, burn them, written rhyme flawless. Like the names of every Ninja Turtle, I'm an artist. Bitch, nobody stopping what I'm saying. Lyrical display, gon' shock them like Raiden. Everyday raging, show me where the party's at. Where the bitches, where the broads, where the hotties at. Where the liquor, where the bud, where the molly at. Where the stage, I'm about to give the crowd a heart attack. Life short, so you know I gotta live it up. Brim low, ducks rolled, I'ma never give a fuck. Never give a fuck about you. I'm just doing what I do. Murder any beat I put my mind to. Thought you knew that's what I do. Rapping on the mic till my face turns blue. Through and through, that's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I got. My word in my balls, just a nerd with a cause. Living life like a video game, so press pause. Double tap X with a shot to the brain. Back, square, catch him with the scorpion chain. So get over here, bitch, I'll kick him like Liu Kang. And fatality anybody who shits on my name. It's that tatted up tyrant, heating up the climate. Pissing on these haters like puppies on fire hydrants. It's that motherfucking Optimus rhyme. Full bottle of pills, blunted with a bottle of wine. Fully transformed, about to take over the game soon. Ain't a motherfucker I'm afraid to bring the flame to. Got him rotisserie while I be smoking piffery. Making words connect like letters written in calligraphy. Not a person here stepping in my shoes, cause see Webby's back and this is what I do.
I'ma never give a fuck about you. I'm just doing what I do. Murder any beat I put my mind to. Thought you knew that's what I do. Rapping on the mic till my face turns blue. Through and through, that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do.
What do you think, Jenny? Are you back? Are we back?
He's still looking.
You can't find the map. It's all right. Tell him to prepare for another show. Tell him we don't. We don't. We've been going for hours, dude. We've been going for hours. How much longer do you want to go for?
He didn't realize that I had turned the mic back on when he made the comment. So.
Oh.
He has to.
I believe you. You have maps galore, but you need a way to present it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to get organization in here.
You can't just tell the audience I have this really awesome map and then not.
Well, he didn't know. He wasn't intending on that. Like he didn't know that the mic was on.
Such a disappointment. It's all right. Next time we'll bring it on. All right. I love you guys. It's we're just gonna. It's always been a fight.
Using men go working, some do stealing. Everyone's got to make a living.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot.
Jesus.
I know where I came from. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot.
One of my first videos that I uploaded was making the banana ketchup. And he's playing the Jenny from the Block song.
Stay grounded as the amounts roll in. I'm real, I thought I told ya. I'm real, even on no bruh. That's just me. Nothing phony, don't hate on me. What you get is what you see. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot.
No, but that banana ketchup was awesome, yo.
Around the earth like this, rocking this business. I've grown up so much, I'm in control and loving it. Rumors got me laughing.
The mic is on, dude.
Forget to stay real. To me, it's like breathing. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know.
Ew, no frogs in a blender.
Rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Oh, Boricua. Boricua's in the house. All right, now we get back. These fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I know that the banana ketchup might seem like a weird thing, but it's actually really good and it works really good. Allegedly, it was created as a substitute for tomato ketchup because in the Philippines, because during one of the wars they couldn't get no tomatoes in because tomatoes were like imported from other countries.
You made ketchup out of bananas? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It tastes
and
like
it's
banana.
really good, actually.
It sounds
But
interesting.
allegedly, they couldn't get tomatoes in the Philippines for a while during one of the world wars, and so they had to use bananas.
So, what year did they make banana ketchup illegal in this country? Because I haven't seen it on any shelves anywhere.
It's not illegal. It's just that you have to go to specialty shops to get it, or you have to make it yourself.
Yeah, I know. I get it. All right.
Like Asian stores, a lot of Asian stores will have it. Some Latin stores will have it too, because there's certain Latin countries that use it as well.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm done. I think I'm done here tonight. I think I'm done. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I can go either way.
Yeah, I mean, I could keep going too, but I'm all out of coffee, and it's like 3:30. It's 3:31 in the morning. 3:30, and it's just
Yeah. 1:31 here.
I think we did enough for tonight. I think we killed it. Everybody give it a thumbs up. Show your support and love, and everything else. And I'm gonna get out. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna check because I have things I got to do tomorrow. Check mail for a live stream during the day because I'll probably be going live from a different location somewhere else other than the agency. Peace.
Static selector.
I'm a walking bad habit, eat tabs up in the cabinet. Savage rap status, vocabulary extravagant. A rock star, popping rocks and bars. Used to flip bud, now this rapping copy a car. No telling, Connecticut felon. I GPS him and find my mark like Magellan with more lines than Corey Feldman. I never cease to impress him. I cardiac arrest him with every studio session. I'm killing them, no question. Web's back, better hold your breath when I'm rhyming home. I murder beats, I'm Jonah Hex with a microphone. Fiends saying I'm the dopest yet. And haters, I shrug them off until my fucking shoulders sweat. I'm breaking bones, the modern version of Casey Jones. Sword in hand, I'm the winner playing the Game of Thrones. Fuck beef, my rapping style's filet mignon. Getting drunk, fuck your driver, somebody take me home.
Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch. I know that I should change, but I don't really think I can. It's just part of my nature, I never cracked and never ran. The world is falling on me when my back was in a jam. I always kept on fighting, that's exactly who I am. And this is who I am, no way that I can change it. I'm buck wild, stupid and dangerous. My best friends are not strangers. These are the motherfuckers I hang with. We speak the same language. And I ain't saying French, English, or Spanish, or Spanglish. I mean pain and anguish. This cocaine slaying and bang bang shit. Mac 11s that we aim with. In other words, I'm rolling with the same clique I came with. On the same list and fuck being famous. Fame dreams are for groupies. I'm a real life gangster that you ain't seen in the movies. What I mean is I'm truly off the hook. Like a phone in a nursing home, homie. I'm that Boston crook. Take me home. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch.
I damage tracks, so listeners always ran it back. Always with a half ounce stuffed into a sandwich bag. I kill it quickly and always keeping the realest with me. Stealing all the fucking insulin from Wilford Brimley. Diabetes, rappers could never beat us. I've been spitting shit like this since I was just a fucking fetus. Keep your chick with me as long as she give dome. Rolling up the diesel and burning like Jim Rome.
Now I stand here as a man with the past, the inspiration for the kids on the corner, but still got the laugh of a mental patient. The infiltration of the game, born from a central hatred of fame. A pencil shaking with pain, an entrance staked in a claim from the wrath I became. My paragraphs I'm saying are futuristic pictures of the past from which I came. And this is slain with the shotty and the hoopty, son. My whole career's a robbery that they could never scoop me from. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch. Take me home now, bitch. Watch for the cops hit the blinker when you switch lanes, cause you know that I'm famous and I'm rich. Eyes on the road, take me home now, bitch.